Hey, so this is a video on how you turn a video into a sequence for you to animate on top of and then create an animation from. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So first you need a video. You can do that either by screen recording, Windows using the snipping tool, or Command Shift 5 on a Mac, and then switching over to the video option. But once you have your video, keeping it around 2 to 3 seconds, you can go into Media Encoder, and then let me just get rid of this guy. And then you drag your video file into here. And then, so typically, I think it just kept the settings that I had before, but you would have to click here. It should say H.264, I think it would be. Let's see, it'd be, yeah, H.264 is the default, so it would be like that. So then you have to change it to JPEG. And then it goes to a JPEG sequence down here, and then you would have to uncheck the frame rate down here in video settings and change this to 24, and then hit OK. And then you test where the output file is going to go to. And for me, I'm going to do desktop, Spider-Man, images folder, and then hit save. And then once you hit the green button, it goes through, takes a few seconds. You can come in here, and then I didn't even show you what the video is, but it's a snippet from Into the Spider-Verse where Spider-Man 299 is taking Miles Morales and slamming him into the train car. So this is the clip. Okay, then we go here to the images folder, and here you can see the media encoder broke down the video sequence into individual images. And it starts at 100, goes to 147, so that means that there was 47 frames. So it's just under 2 seconds, which is ideally what you want. So you can open it up and scroll through by hitting the arrow keys, and it tells you which frame exactly you were on, all the way through. It should say the name up here, so 147, then you can go back, and tells you the name up there. So that's pretty cool. So then what you do is you go into Photoshop. Let me just do a new one. So then you would find out where your sequence starts. So sometimes when you're doing a recording, it can go a little bit before and a little bit after what you want, but you can just find the image that you start in, your sequence, and then you take that and you drag it into Photoshop, just like that. And then you can adjust it to however you want, but I'm just, for time's sake, just going to say enter. And then what you would do is you would create a new layer down here on top of the image, and then you would go in and draw in this layer your outline or whatever you want the character to be. And this is just a really simple one. Yeah, and then you would draw the rest of the character, and you would do this for every single, there it is. You would do this for every single image in your sequence. So then you would bring in the next one, same positioning that you had the first one. You would have it be on top of the previous one. Then you would go into here and make the next image or whatever, just like that, and then do the next one. And I'm just doing the first three just so you can kind of get an idea of what to do after you start out here. So you have first three like that. So then you go back after you have drawn in everything that you want to. You take out the original images. You take away the visibility on those. And then right down here, you would say create frame animation. So then you would have 1, 2, 3 frames. So then you would need 3 frames down here. So for the first one, you'd want the background visible and you want the first layer visible. So you would take out the visibility for these other two. For this one, you would turn the visibility on for the second layer, turn it off for the first layer. And the third one, you turn the third one on, and then the other one should be off. Then just make sure, okay, then you would go through, and you can kind of see the progress. Hit play, it goes through. Eventually, it starts to look like this. This is it's an earlier version. I had actually finished this project, but I was not able to find the finalized version on my personal one. But this was about like halfway done when I was doing just kind of basic shapes and stuff for everything. But yeah, this is what it kind of looks like. The speed needs some adjusting too, but you can kind of see it looks cool. You're basically just doing tracing over whatever you think is essential to the animation. If you want to include backgrounds, other elements, that's totally fine. But that kind of gets you everything you need to animate from a video. It's also kind of cool as well if you wanted to. Let's say you had a video. I had an AV teacher at my current job, and he wanted to have a project where he animated on top of videos, and you would use the same process to do that. You would have the video images in here, but instead of making a new layer, or I guess you would still make a new layer. You would still make a new layer, but you would just keep the visibility on. You could draw on these, but I would not recommend it because then if you have to undo or delete some stuff, there's no way to kind of get that information back. So I guess you would have to always make a new layer, but then whenever you go and you create the frame animation, you would just keep the visibility on for these. So yeah, disregard what I said before about drawing on these. You definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, after you have your animation all done, you would go to File, Export, Save Web Legacy. Let it load up. See, it comes up as a GIF. And then I don't think I'd be able to see this now because you can only pull it up in a web browser, I think. But then you would hit Save, go to Desktop, wherever I want to save it, in my Spider-Man folder. Save. And that saves it as a GIF in my, let's see if it works. Yeah, it does. Cool. That saves it as a running GIF in wherever I want to put it in my desktop. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out, showing you how to create animations from videos, or if you want to even make an animation on top of a video is a cool second option you could do. But yeah, if you have any other questions, then let me know, and good luck.